by Soni Daniel, Northern Region Editor Appaprently. Miffed by the spat between former President Olusegun Obasanjo and President Muhammadu Buhari over the controversial $16 billion wasted on power projects by the former, a civil society organization. The African Center for Media and Information Literacy, AFRICMIL, has called for a full-scale and wide-ranging investigations into the administrations of all former Nigerian leaders and bring those who breached public trust to account. Obasanjo-Buhari, the organization, in a public statement signed by its coordinator, Chido Onuma, and made available to Vanguard on Wednesday, argued that the federal government had a duty to probe all gray areas in every administration beyond the alleged $16 billion power sector expenditure. It will be recalled that while addressing his supporters on Tuesday, President Buhari said that former President Obasanjo had questions to answer for spending $16 billion on power without commensurate result. President Obasanjo promptly responded by accusing Buhari of being ignorant of the facts on the matter. He also said he was ready to be probed again on the matter, which was first investigated by the House of Representatives. Onuma said, "This challenge the former president throws at the federal government presents a unique opportunity for us as a country to revisit our past and bring all our past leaders to account." Reopening the power sector expenditure probe would be a step in the right direction for the country, but that should just be the beginning. It is high time the unwritten amnesty given to former heads of states and presidents was jettisoned and those individuals scrutinized to get them to fully account for their stewardship and explain the hemorrhage Nigeria suffered over time. Apart from Sani Abacha, who died in office, there is no Nigerian leader whose personal misconduct has been subjected to criminal investigation. This is both an anomaly and an irony. It is ironic that those who are alive are left to enjoy the fruits of their misdeeds, he said. Mr. Onuma cited the example of many countries including Israel, Brazil, South Korea and Malaysia, in recent time, which subjected their former leaders to corruption probe, saying that the practice is a major deterrence against corruption for future leaders. Nigerian money is our common patrimony. No one can wave off stealing on behalf of all citizens, and ignoring the conduct of former leaders is doing exactly that, he added. Describing what he called criminal collusion on the part of successive leaders, Mr. Onuma stated that it was unfair for law enforcement agents to go after subordinates, while the big masquerades on whose table the buck stops, or deliberately let off the hook. AFRICMIL called for a strong independent interagency panel to investigate major scandals since the administration of former military ruler, Ibrahim Babangida. While we caution, however, that no one should politicize the tragedy wrought by the armed herdsmen attacks on innocent citizens. In a world where visuals are central to businesses of different scale, finding unique content that is also related. President Muhammadu Buhari, yesterday, made a direct rebuttal of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo's summation of his administration. The bear's rampage continued today at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, NSE, following the massive losses recorded by 22 Compa. Click View to the newspaper archives.